Hey gamers, Infinite D here. Thanks for checking out the channel. Today's episode we're going to go over the tournament list submitted for the 1000 point in-house tournament. More details and coverage can be found at infinitedicegaming.com, where we'll break down further analysis of each army and the bracket in general. Until then, enjoy. Welcome back gamers to Infinite Dice. You're here with me, Infinite D, and we are going over a tournament update. We have all the tournament lists in for our 1000 point in-house tournament army, AOS Championships, we'll call it. This is what our full brackets are going to look like, and we have to start off with the Ironjaws versus the Stormcast, and then the Bone Splitters versus the Skaven, the Nighthaunt versus Elves, and then of course the Seraphon versus Tzeentch to wrap it up with the constellation brackets looking like such. And again, I got all of these brackets at printyourbrackets.com, as you can see down there in the corner, and it is fantastic. Without further ado, let's jump right on into it and talk about these lists and what we think about them and these matchup. First, we got the Ironjaws. Don't have pictures of our Ironjaws up yet. What we need to know about this is we're going to run two Orc Mega Bosses. Pretty hard hitting heroes. One's going to have the Battle Brew, which I believe to be the best item in the game. It's +1 to hit and +1 to wound. And then we're going to have 2 units of 5 Orc Brutes. That's what these guys look like up here in the corner. And then 3 Gore Gruntas, the big riding the pig guys, and then 2 Orc Hardboys, or 10 Orc Hardboys. Aruk. The house is on fire. Alright, that was terrible. Coming up with 1,000 points, 25 models, and 79 wounds. That puts it, the wound count is the third largest wound count in all of this. We'll keep going through that as we go. And then the model count, that puts it roughly pretty low. This is going to be definitely a more elite army, only having 25 models. So let's keep on chugging along. We have our Stormcast Eternal that are going to face off against the Ironjaws in the first round. We're led by a Lord Celestant. And again, these are the ones that we're going to see. Hopefully they're going to be done up a little bit more, have their shoulder pads done and inked and et cetera, et cetera. But we are led by our Lord Celestant, and he's just going to be a monster. One of his big things that we got to talk about is his command ability, which is Furious Retribution, which is going to be +1 to hit for all units within 9 inches, is very powerful. And then also to back up a little bit, the battle trait here for the Stormcast Eternal here at the top is going to be Scion of the Storm, which is going to allow all of this army to teleport into the battlefield. They don't have to set up normally. They can all teleport within 9 inches away from their enemy, which is going to be pretty fantastic. Very interested to see how that plays out. Have not played them. They're going to fall right along, jumping to the bottom. They're going to fall right along with the Ironjaws as far as wound count. They're going to come up 76. That's just short of the 79 of the Ironjaws. And they come in 6th with 30 models, a little bit more than the Ironjaws. So this is another elite army, and this first opening match is just going to be punching. To finish out the army, it's going to be a Lord Reliquor. He's got some healing and some prayers. 10 Liberator, big force, and then another small unit of 5 Liberators, and then 5 Retributors, and then 5 Protectors. Both of those units are punch hard for sure, tank units. And then 3 Prosecutors with Celestial Hammers. It's the winged guys back here. They're going to fly around and throw hammers at everybody. Chugging right along. Jumping right into Bone Splitters. Talk a little bit about this, but let me run through the list. We're going to run a Savage Big Boss. That's the guy up there in the front corner. A Morog Prophet, a pretty good caster, has 2 spells. A big unit of 30 Savage Orc Arrow Boys. So we'll talk about that in a second. 10 Savage Orc Arrow Boys, another smaller off unit, and then 3 units of 5 Savage Boar Boys, which I also want to come back to. This army is going to be interesting and unique on several levels. First, it has 137 wounds, putting it at the highest wound count of all these armies submitted into this tournament. That's interesting. So the second thing is got this interesting combo with this large unit of 30 Savage Orc Arrow Boys. If they are running a unit over 20, they have a +1 attack with their bows. So that means we're going to have 60 attacks with their bows. No, even more. They have 60 naturally, so they're going to have 90 attacks with their bows. And then using the Savage Big Boss command ability of Savage Attack for 6s to generate additional attacks, that's all fine and dandy. But comboed with the Morgog Prophet of Brutal Beast Spirit spell, which is +1 to run, charge, and hit. What we care about is the to hit. So now this big unit of 30 Savage Orcs shooting additional attacks is going to generate more shots on both 5s and 6s. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how that plays out. Also, these 3 units of 5 Savage Boar Boys, they have hit and run, which they can charge the same turn they retreat. That's also pretty unique. Not too many things in the game have that. I'm interested to see how that plays out with just charging into units, holding them up, and then immediately retreating them and charging them into other units. So they will be facing off against the Skaven, and let's go over that. The Skaven, we're going to start off with a Warlord, and then we're going to have a Verminlord Warp Seer. The Verminlord Warp Seer is this big, old, beautiful rat demon. And the Warlord's down here with his awesome sword. We're going to have 3 units of 10 Clan Rats, 2 Rattling Gun weapon teams, and then 3 Storm Fiends. As far as where it lines up with wound count, it is the 6th. So 3rd from bottom on wounds at 71, but right there, everything seems to have about 70-ish wounds, 70 to 80 wounds. Kind of falls into the middle on both wounds and model count, with going into 5th on model count on 37 models. Definitely feels like this is going to be a shooting army. The Verminlord Warp Seer has multiple different spells, including one that will slow down his enemies as they come towards you. So just more rattling gunfire. Pew, 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 pew. Interesting to see how that plays out. All right, bottom of the bracket, we have the Night Haunts. We've seen this list before. The Black Coach there in the middle, the 3 Crane Wraiths. This is running maximum heroes. This is the only army running maximum heroes. Interestingly enough, it seems like every other list only has 2 heroes. We have the 3 Spirit Hosts, and then another unit of 3 units of 3 Spirit Hosts all day, and then 2 units of 5 Hex Wraiths. This is also the only army that's short 1,000 points at 980, so that he get their bonus roll on every army. They came up at the very bottom of wounds, only 54 wounds, and the very bottom of models. So this is the smallest model count and the smallest wound count. This is kind of my baby. I don't know what I was thinking. The idea behind these ghosts is they have a 4+ save that cannot be taken away from them, and then they have an additional 5+ save that cannot be taken away from them. So they're very tough. So it's the fewest amount of models and wounds, but everything is tough. We'll see. We'll just see how it plays. We've already seen their matchup once with the Elves. We have the Lord on Griffin again, and I'm sorry, that's not the general. The Northern Sea Helm, the battle standard bearer right here, is going to be the general. A fantastic command ability of being able to reroll everything that we've also seen played out. Hopefully utilized really well. 3 units of 10 Lothern Sea Guard, and then 2 units of 5 Helvian Reavers. They are also fantastic. They can move additional, shoot additional, seem to be well costed. We'll see how the Lothern Sea Guard play out. As far as wounds and models go, they come up on second to bottom on wounds, right above the Night Haunt, so it would be nice that they're facing off. And then they're pretty run of the middle. They're 4th on models, running 42 models. Next we got the Seraphon and Tzeentch. The bottom of the bottom bracket. Don't quite have this army put together yet. Hopefully soon. Start off with the general is going to be the Saurus Old Blood on a Carnosaur. It's going to be this guy here, and he's just going to be a monster. All his command ability gives him plus attacks. His command trait gives him plus attacks. It's going to be a large, beefy guy running around and eating people. And then he's followed up with a Skink Priest, a sorcerer to kind of help him out, and then 5 Saurus Guard, more elite troops, 2 units of 10 Saurus Warriors, kind of just regular run-of-the-mill foot soldiers, 10 Skinks. Skinks played fantastic in earlier editions of Warhammer. I'm interested to see how they play in AOS as well. Bantha fodder, but the best. And you can't, good Bantha fodder is just really good to have. Holds up units, distracts, etc., etc. And then 5 Saurus Knights. Bring it to 1,000 points, 52 models, and 72 wounds. It has the 3rd largest model count, and it has the 5th largest wound count. And then lastly, be facing off against Tzeentch. Oh, one last thing I want to say is the Saurus Old Blood on Carnosaur is additionally deadly against demons. So it is fun that it got rolled against demons in our last video on drawing for this tournament. Alright, this Tzeentch list. We're going to start with a Lord of Change because I can't imagine running a Tzeentch list without one. I cannot wait to put them together. He's going to be just a magical mayhem destruction. He's followed up with the Gaunt Summoner, kind of to grab more spell list opportunities. 2 units of 10 Pink Horrors, that's these guys up here. They are also sorcerers and can cast their own spells. And all the spells for these guys to come. And then 20 Blue Horrors, 20 Brimstone Horrors, and then 140 points in reserve. Now this is going to be the only army that has reserve points. They can summon points. That'll be the Gaunt Summoner or Lord of Change, or even the Pink Horrors really, can summon models onto the board. Some of the things that we can summon with those points is another unit of 10 Pink Horrors, or we can summon a Herald, or even Bloodletters, or let some of the Horrors split, because when the Horrors die, they produce more Horrors. I thought this would be an interesting way to play out this army for different missions, due to the fact that we're going to roll for each mission, and if they need another unit of troop foot soldiers, or if they need another hero, they can have it on demand. This is going to be 1,000 points even, 60 to 70 models, which puts it at the highest model count, and 79 to 90 wounds, which is going to put it at the 2nd highest wound count right after Bone Splitters. Still pretty decent in both regards. Again, another look at the brackets that we were just talking about. Whew. And just a quick overview of all the points, models, and wounds. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Hey guys, thanks for watching all the way through. Hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, you can find more details for all of these lists at infinitedicegaming.com, where all of these lists will be printed up and further detailed analysis. Until then, don't forget to hit like and then subscribe. Appreciate it.